those of you that are new here, my name is Gemma, and this channel is dedicated to my journey as a single mom, budgeting, saving money, making money, all that fun stuff. And yeah, this is my first ever cash stuffing video, which I'm super excited about because I've never in my life done this before. So you'll have to bear with me because I'm trying to get to grips with what's right for me, and I need to get the I bought this wallet, but I don't have any of the the vinyl stickers and things to go on them yet, so I will be getting some of those. But I decided I wasn't going to wait until I had everything perfect, and life isn't perfect, right? So we're just going to start with what we've got. So today is I'm going to be cash stuffing £375. Now, for those of you that have watched my financial goals video that I posted a couple of weeks ago, and thank you so much for those of you that did, and those of you that subscribed from that, welcome. You will know that I am primarily a card spender. I don't really spend with cash. So in case you're wondering, why the heck has she got Monopoly money? Like, what a big faker. Honestly, it is so inconvenient for me to have to go and get the cash out to then put it back into the bank again. Like I said, I'm predominantly a card spender. It's not very often that I use cash. I live in a pretty small village, and I used to have a bank a couple of villages down. My bank was there, but I guess like a lot of banks, a few years ago, they closed them all. So to be able to get into a bank to put that cash back in would mean like a 30-minute drive into the city centre, which is, I'm too lazy, to be honest, to have to do that. Or I mean, I could use the post office, but again, it's a tiny village post office, and no shade or anything, but I swear they just open as and when they feel like it. There's no like set times or anything to it. And I don't want to be playing lucky dip every time I go around there to put the cash back in. Plus as well, I've said before, I'm a single parent. It's just me and my 2 kids, and I don't really feel comfortable having a lot of cash in the house at any one point. So from a safety perspective, that's why we're doing it this way with the pretend money. So what I do is I allocate, so like I have here, 375. This is not my household budget money. This is my sinking funds money. And I've already transferred this money out of my bank account into a dedicated savings account. The reason why I'm doing cash stuffing with it as well is because I know myself well enough to know that I will look into a savings account and see £375 in there, and my mind will be like, we're rich, let's go shopping. And I'll end up buying rubbish that I don't need. I mean, I'll probably end up going and buying a dress for a night out, and I literally never go out. Like, what am I thinking? So I'm doing this so that I've got a visual, so that I can keep all of my sinking funds in one savings account, and I can use this then to look at exactly how much I've got for each individual thing, rather than splurging on stuff that's just not in the budget. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Before we get into that though, I also did another video where I talked about my savings challenges. I was doing 4 savings challenges this year, so I wanted to give you guys a quick update on that. So the first one is the 365 challenge, or the 1p a day. So for every day of the year, so the first day of the year you put aside 1 penny, second day 2 penny, and so on, all the way up to the last day where you put £3.65 in. So I have been keeping up to date on that. So it's the 26th today. So there is my pennies. Honestly, I've just been going around the house finding 2p's and 10p's. So that's been really handy with the lower amounts at the minute, because this is just, that random change that you have lying around. Like, you put your hand in a coat pocket and there's like 11 pence in there. And it's like, where did you come from? Like, what's going on? So far then, in there, I should have, if I've done it right, I should have £3.51. so that is that challenge. The £5 challenge that I was doing is currently sitting at the incredible balance of 0. Purely because I have barely used any cash. Like I say, there's cash saving challenges. I'm not expecting to become a millionaire off the back of those because I don't really spend cash. So I haven't come into contact with any £5 yet, so that's at 0. The 50p challenge that I'm also doing, I think I've got about 7 50p's in that jar, so that's like £3.50. And then the big one for me, which I'm hoping will be the big one for me across the course of the year, is the round up challenge, where every time you spend on your debit card, you round it up to the nearest pound or nearest £5, whatever you want, and then transfer that straight into a savings account. So in that, I currently have, let me see, £26.19, just purely from rounding my spending up. So that is really really helpful. So yeah, let's get started then with the cash stuffing. Like I say, it's gonna be, I do need to order some of those things so I know exactly what's for what, but to start with, we are just going to go with what we've got. So I have around 8 sinking funds at the minute that I'm planning to work on this year. Let me get I've got a piece of paper to, so I can remember what's what. So yes, we have £375 to stuff. The first envelope that I am stuffing is for my kids' birthdays. Both of their birthdays are towards the end of the year, which is good because it gives me some time to save up. Ooh, if I can open it, there we go. So I've got, Erin is 14 and Dylan is 12, and I like to spend around £70 each for their birthdays. So I'm going to be putting in, you know what, let me separate these out because then it might make it a little bit easier when it comes to putting it in the envelopes. Like I say, I've already moved £375 into my savings account. I'm not just a weirdo that likes to play with Monopoly money. And do you know what I was thinking? I'm going to stuff with this Monopoly money, and then the kids are all of a sudden going to say, let's play Monopoly. Which they will definitely do if they see that I'm using it. But when I tell you that this Monopoly box had dust on it, that's how long it's been since we've played Monopoly in this house. So the goal is anyway to, once I'd need a colour printer. Ooh, what's that? I need a colour printer for, not a colour printer, sorry. I need a colour cartridge for my printer. So then I'll just go onto Canva or something and create some of my own money that I can use. I didn't want to do it yet because the only printer that works in the house at the minute is the one that I use for my business, and it's one of those, I can't even think what they're called. The ones that uses toner and not cartridges. So it's just black and white. So, you know, that's boring. I don't want to do that. I want colour. I want something to be exciting when I look at it because it'll help me to stick to my goals. So, kids' birthdays then. So we're going to be putting in 15 because, like I say, Erin's is in October, and then Dylan's is in November. So that's 15 a month, even up until October, should give me 150, which will be more than enough. And then really I only buy for like my nieces and nephews, which is kind of dotted in and out throughout the year, so I can kind of pull those out of the household budget. So that's not going to be an issue. The next one of the big ones, is Christmas. Christmas last year was, I don't want to say horrendous for spending, but I didn't budget properly at all. I had to wait until, like, I don't think I started my shopping until the end of November, and then I was trying to squeeze out everything, you know, out of, you know, December's money, which was not a great move. I don't know about you, but with COVID and everything, and my savings and my budget, well, my savings have been completely depleted, and I just wasn't able to plan for it as well as I normally do, and as well as I wanted to. And honestly, I've never felt, well, no, I have felt anxious like that before, but many, many years ago. And it's a horrible feeling, being anxious about money, and you want to do the best for your kids, right? And you want to get them this, and oh God, they really want this, and I need to try and find it, and then it's a nightmare. So I want to be able to really get this one up. So my budget for Christmas is £500. So I'm going to be putting £50 a month into this one. And you know what the sad thing is £500 is a lot of money, but by the time you go to buy stuff for your kids, it really doesn't go very far, does it? Yeah, it's just horrendous, but hey ho, we have to do what we have to do, right? So I'm hopeful that this Christmas I will be able to start shopping. Also, I will be able to take advantage of, those offers and stuff that come around, like, October, beginning of November time, because I'll have the cash there to be able to do that. And hopefully that will, help me to save more money in the long run as well. So what did we say? 50 for Christmas. So 20, 40, 50. I'm looking forward to being able to look in these and seeing them like bulging with money. Keep going and we'll get there, right? So the next one is a holiday. So I've not taken my kids on holiday for a couple of years. And, because of COVID and everything, I think a lot of people are in the same position. I always love to take the kids abroad. It's one of the things that when I became a single parent, when my kids were, Dylan was 1 and Erin was 3, and I took them on my first holiday abroad when Erin was 5 and Dylan was 3, and we went to Lapland for a week, and it was amazing. And I did that because I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it, and I didn't want to feel like I couldn't take them away anywhere unless I was in a relationship. And so then more or less every year after that, I've tried to take them abroad, and we try and go to a different country every year. So we went to Lapland, and then we went to Turkey, and we went to Tunisia. We went to Aruba, which was beautiful. And that was, I think everyone around me was more scared about that than I was, because obviously from the UK to Aruba is like a 9-hour flight, and it's it's a fair distance away. And I don't think my dad slept, in fact, the entire time that we were there, because he was worrying about us. But we had the best time. The people were so lovely. And then the year after that, we went to Disneyland Paris I think we went for about 4 days, and that was so much fun. And then and then COVID hit, and we've not been able to go anywhere for the past couple of years. So I really do want to go away this year, and my sister, in fact, is on about us doing like a big family holiday somewhere. So it would be nice for us to be able to do that. That won't be until probably the October half term, which means I've got a bit of time, but obviously it means I do need to get cracking with the savings, because I'm probably going to need at least £1,500 for that. So I'm going to be stuffing, just for now, £100 a month into that, and then I will increase it as the year goes on, and then we get an idea of where we're going and how much it's going to cost and what have you. But yeah, I'm excited for that one, if we can get away this year. But at the minute, you kind of one step forward, 2 steps back, isn't it, for everywhere? So we will see, but we'll keep building that up. If we can't get away this year, then we'll just go on a mega holiday next year, hopefully. So the next one of my sinking funds is the back to school fund. obviously it's an expensive time of year. Both of my kids now are in high school, and they both have to have the logoed polo t-shirts and the logo jumpers, as well as a very specific PE kit, which you can only buy from one stockist, which just drives me insane because it's so expensive. When they were in primary, I could go to Asda or Sainsbury's and pick up like a packet of 3 school shirts, or like the school t-shirts, for about £6 or something. And now each one individual, exactly the same kind of, like the polo t-shirt types, exactly the same style, but just with the school logo on, and it's £10 for one. And obviously, you know, they're teenager. Well, Erin's a teenager, Dylan's almost a teenager. And, you know, they're at school, they're stinking up a storm, you know, as teenagers do. They can't get away with one t-shirt. So you can't just buy one, you know, you have to get, you know, I like them to have 3 t-shirts. So there's £60 on t-shirts before you've even, you know, thought about anything else. And then it's about, I think it's about £17 for a jumper. So yeah, it's ridiculously expensive. I do wish that schools wouldn't just have one supplier and would let you. It wouldn't even be so bad if they just had the logo on the jumper and then just let you buy a plain shirt. But you know, it is what it is. So we're going to have to grin and bear it. So I'm going to be stuffing 40 into that to begin with. And then I'll probably put 20 in it as we go ahead every month. I would like to have about £200 in there by the time we come to August time, which is obviously they go back to school at the end of August. So my plan was to put 40 in there, but I've already spent 20 of this because Dylan's coat ripped, Dylan's school coat. So I had to order him a new one. But to be fair, his old coat was getting quite small, and it split across the seam while he was, you know, playing and whatnot. So normally, if it had been fine, fit him okay, I would have just stitched it up. But because it was getting small, I ordered him another one. And I managed to get it half price. So instead of being 40, it was 20. So I thought that was a bargain. So I've already spent 20 of this. I'm going to take 20 of that away. So this envelope has just got 20 in it right now for the back to school. But I know I'm going to have to dip into this again because Dylan's at that age now where he's, you know, growing like a weed. So his trousers are now looking like shorts. So I need to go and get some more trousers. And then Erin as well could probably do with another pair of trousers or a skirt or something. So I may have to increase the amount that I'm putting into this, but as long as I keep it ticking over for now, then that's okay. Like I say, this is my first time doing this, so I'm still trying to get to grips as to how much I want to put in, and you know, I'm not set in stone with the amounts for now. So that's the school one. The next one then is car maintenance. I'm pretty lucky. I don't really use my car that much. I work from home. I take the kids backwards and forwards to school now because it's too far for them to walk. When they were in primary, it was in the village, so we used to walk it all the time. Now they're both in high school. We drive, so that's really all I use my car for, or you know, for nipping out to see family or friends, or you know, occasionally shopping. So I'm not really putting an awful lot aside. And to be honest, anything to do with my car, I'm on the phone to my dad, like, Dad, can you fix this for me? Like, please help me out. I hate, and hate's such a strong word, but it's true. I hate anything to do with car maintenance. Like, the idea of walking into a garage and asking them to look at my car just honestly makes me want to vomit. So yeah, but I do need to have some money set aside for that, you know, and then I can give that money to my dad when he takes it into the garage for me. So, car maintenance, I want to try and build up a fund of around £300. So I'm going to be putting £20 in it for now. Just like I say, just to get it going. My MOT is not due until November, I believe. So hopefully it won't need anything doing to it in the meantime. And that'll give us a chance to build that up. The next one then is the fun envelope. I've seen a few, like I love to watch videos like this myself, and I've seen a few people have like their fun envelopes or their going out envelopes, and then when they've got debt and stuff, you have people sometimes in the comments saying, why have you got a fun envelope if you've got debt? And I've got debt, you know, I have debts that I have to pay off as well. But I don't know about you, but have you ever tried to lean your budget down so much just to pay off debt that you end up miserable because you've got nothing to look forward to? And then you just, I think you're more likely to go and splurge on something rather than allocating a little bit of money every month, you know, so you've got something to look forward to and something fun to do, you know, rather than sitting at home miserable and then being like, this is horrible, I can't do this. And then, you know, you end up never getting out of debt. So I do want to put money aside for fun. What the kids and I would really love to do is to go to a concert or something this year. Obviously, again, with COVID, it's been so long since we've been able to do anything. We'd started going to the theatre a lot before this, and we had so much fun doing that. So I would like to start putting some money aside to go in and doing that. So I want to build this up to about £150. So today I'm going to be putting 20. I'm allocating 20s to a lot of things. So yeah, that is the fun budget. Hopefully we'll get to use that one sooner rather than later. Okay, the next one is, and this one isn't a necessity, but I want it anyway. And this is going to be our takeaway fund. Like I say, I'm a single parent. There's only me that does all the cooking and, you know, planning out meals. And I don't mind cooking. The past couple of years the past year, I've been cooking from scratch and I'm really enjoying doing all that. But sometimes I just don't want to cook. Sometimes I just want to be able to order in some food and not have to cook, not have to wash up, not have to do anything like that. And so I want to allocate money every month for us to be able to do that. I think, I think it's a very necessary envelope for me. Just, you know, those days where you just can't be arsed, like, that's what this is for. So I'm going to put £30 a month into these. Now, I'm very much expecting to spend £30 because, you know, takeaways are not as cheap as they once were, are they? So yeah, £30 into this then, and this is likely one that will be used every month and then just keep being topped up. But so I'm going to put a 20 and a 10, so that's £30 into there. And again, I'll probably just order it from Just Eat or something, so there's no point in me having physical cash because I'm lazy and I can't be bothered to drive round to the takeaway place when, you know, they can come here to me and I can sit here in my pajamas. So that's what we're doing with that. Now, this one is a big one. This is the last one that I'm going to be stuffing today, and this is for my emergency fund. Like I said earlier, my savings have been completely depleted. I work for myself from home, so during all those times when the kids were homeschooling, I wasn't able to really do an awful lot, and I think, you know, a lot of people are in the same position. And because I'm self-employed, it was very easy, I think, for me to kind of put my work on the back burner a bit, and honestly, I just wanted to focus on the kids, and they needed to use the computer and all that kind of stuff. So any savings that I did have, I've completely gone. So what I really want to do is get that £1,000 emergency fund back up, because honestly, it makes me feel nervous and it makes me feel anxious not having any kind of safety net whatsoever. This is for, you know, things like if the, you know, if the fridge freezer breaks or the washing machine breaks, or, you know, if I get a flat tire, I mean, that could come out of car maintenance really, but you know, those things that you don't want to happen, but they might pop up, or an unexpected bill might come along, or anything like that is what this one is for, and only for those reasons. So I've decided to put £100 a month into this. That should get it topped up by October. You know, God willing, I don't need to spend anything in the meantime. And then I can just leave that sitting there then. And I know that I'm as covered as, you know, I reasonably can be. I think once I've got my £1,000 built up, what I plan to do then is probably keep putting £100 a month aside, but keep putting that into a 1 month ahead envelope, so that I can get a month ahead on all of my bills and my rent and all that kind of stuff. And again, it's just about putting as many kinds of safety nets in place as I possibly can, because, you know, life's hard, isn't it, at the minute? With the rising cost of energy and the rising cost of food and stuff, it's a struggle. And I think it's even more of a worry if you're the only person in your household who's bringing in any money and you're the only one responsible for paying the bills. It's it's important. So this one is really a priority for me. And so we're going to be putting £100 into that. Honestly, I cannot get into these. I go one way and then it looks like it's locked, and then we're learning. Okay, so that is everything stuffed for today. I'm going to I'll probably just put a bit of paper into each one just so that I can remember which one is which, until I get the those fancy stickers to go on the outside. And yeah, I will be back next month with another sinking funds stuffer. I'm also going to be doing pretty soon a video on my household budget, my bills and stuff. So if you're interested in that, please hit the subscribe button. That'll be coming soon. Obviously, we're almost at the end of January now, so that will be doing for February's budget. And I'm also planning to do a video. I do KDP publishing, so if anyone's interested in how I make money from that, I'm happy to share that with you guys. Yeah, and I will be back soon with another video, so I hope to see you then, guys. Take care.